Anyhow, I'm about to give you a video about a British man who stopped at home for elderly people with his Slovenian wife. I'm not going to release the audio recording yet. Audio recording is going to be translated from Slovenian to English or English to Slovenian also. Well, it was in English, the audio recording, that is true. But the thing is that I have a little something to say about it. I don't think it would fit here, and I'm not about to release one without giving you ABC. It appeared at first sight to be a total failure, the audio, the interaction between me and the British guy who met me at Home for Elderly People, because I did not manage to point absolutely anything about this great man who came to visit me to Slovenia with Slovenian wife and was involved in MK Ultra case since my early childhood. I was probably about 3 years old, 4 years old when this guy was already involved in MK Ultra in Britain. 1975, 1974, this man already was involved in MK Ultra. This pretty here that you see was supposed to be my wife at one point in time, and then they took her away from me, and it just didn't happen. Her name, Kim Castro. Interesting. Now I get to see her like this, thanks to another girl whose name is also Kim Castro. Well, somewhat Kim Castro. Should I picture you home for elderly people? Let's see how it went, because I didn't know anything about him. It was a horrific thing that happened to me. One of those worse, as I explained in this video, actually even worse than worse. He's got a friend inside of the Home for Elderly People. Actually, the wife, Slovenian wife, does. And he came for a visit, parked his car right here in the back of the Home for Elderly People. Actually, I'm up front right now. I saw that parking and I even thought that it threw me in the back of the Home for Elderly People, but it didn't. The front, that's where he entered inside, and this here, this would be the rear of the Home for Elderly People, where he actually met me. Just about at a parking space which is empty. Might have been that he parked right at the empty parking space with his pretty little car, and there you go. Here I am, basically. Tell me who I am. Here's what I gotta say. The gentleman from Britain who met me was a distributor. He was like a taxi, like a cab. He had a collection of MK Ultra locations with him, and what he would do is he would transfer me from one location to the other. I just went briefly through the city, as is known, Brecon. There is a high school no more there that you see. Bump into the couple who was involved in MK Ultra. I noticed there's one thing about this case, is that the people who that's a totally different route here right now. That's interesting. I do have to see this one. It's interesting how they covered absolutely every trail in Britain. This is in Britain, folks. I never was in Britain. I was one time in Britain when I transferred myself on a plane. As I boarded the plane, and I don't even remember anymore where the hell oh yeah, I bordered it to, I think, I don't know, I really don't know. Was it from London to London Heathrow to, or Luton? I have no fucking idea. Was it to Frankfurt, or was it from Frankfurt to London, and from London to US? I don't know. I really don't know. And it doesn't matter. This couple, I do believe they have a house. She is actually standing on a stairs right there to remind me of passage right here that this was a relatively late involvement into MK Ultra, these two guys. I don't know whether they always lived here. I think the two actually purchased a house on the other side of the hill. Now the two no longer can go obviously through here, but they have to commute themselves through here, right on the other side of the hill. They have a house. This guy here, I believe, was a high school equivalent, some kind of technician, but she had, I think, university degree. This is at least what I got impression. You know, that she was like, I don't know, that she had more. Like, this guy appeared to me was like technical or something. I don't know. It doesn't come to me. I could be wrong. It could be that this was an engineer or something. I have no fucking idea. Involved in MK Ultra. All this housing here, every house here, this whole city, the name is Brecon in Wales. I'm sure that you heard about these people, royals, coming from Wales. These streets, well, I'm not gonna say that this is like I'm at home here, because it's definitely not my home. These were very nice people once, and then it turned out to be ugly once Slovenian side arrived here with Robert Golob, Gregor Golobic, Robert Golob. This is a nice way to pull out some pictures about these people. What a way to prove this case. I mean, it's not a difficult thing to do that. These are the people that traveled here, did the torture. Oh, this goes way back in time, and this goes way back to Yugoslavia. What can I say? This goes to 1980. Even earlier than 1980. About 1980, I would say, I say about my 3rd or 4th grade of the grammar school, and he went into total schizophrenia shit. Here, and I want to thank you, there is still an area where I almost kind of hidden myself inside from this violence basically that went on with these kids in the area and so on, the whole thing. Suicidal stuff, beyond believable. Disgusting. Totally disgusting. These people did not brought me here to get the photos of these people. This housing here was all involved in it. I remember there was a single father with, and then I don't know, was it 2 kids or whatever it was. It must have been in, because this is a housing, right? That's a housing right here that you see. Private housing. This is like well-situated folks here. These are all British, well-situated people. And then here at the end of it was some kind of more like poor stuff. And then I guess they put some kind of shop or whatever. In that sense, that's the way it was somehow. This belonged here on this side here, belonged to elder couple. These are just the elder people that pretty much British. They didn't want to have nothing to do with this crap. Now, where the hell is the house here? There should be some house somewhere here. Did I already cross a little too further here? Yes, don't tell me I'm in the wrong street, because definitely I cannot be. Pardon. Pardon me. I have a cold, or maybe more. I don't know. I apologize for this. My goodness, I screwed up this, haven't I? Must be a neighboring street. When it comes to the couple, that's very important to me. These people are all involved in MK Ultra here. This was all involved. This all Prince Charles, Andrew, Anne, etc., etc. This is Wales, basically. This is where these people claim they are from, that kind of stuff. I am not going to be making any kind of statement about MK Ultra in this area today, because I don't feel well. I practically don't get any sleep. I feel it's a miracle every morning when I get myself up. It's very tough. Head hurts. Blood pressure is blowing through me. I feel like I'm gonna die just about at any time. It's not good, like I stated. Now let me see what's here. All this houses, all this stuff, all involved in it. Is this the land from the old lady here? Let me see that. Nah, she's not here. This is just a couple here. There are the people giving me totally misleading directions. Not a good starter. Bad stuff, actually. They were testing me through the system that gives you somewhat incorrect, it gives you the correct information, and then what they would be doing, they would be switching this with other people, and due to inconsistent visits from Slovenia, they just, I'm not gonna say do inconsistent visits to Slovenia, they involved entire Britain in my head. Every fucking street I feel like is like every street in Britain that I know. Sure enough, it's not every street, but many, sure, too many to count. And so that's very difficult to, if you don't keep coming back and you just keep coming, you know, for a certain period, and these people not give you any fucking answers. They show you this stuff once and then that's it, man. It's like you see it and you're gone. And that's all there is to it, that kind of craziness. I cannot find a home from this lady, boy. From the old couple that... Hey, in my head, this couple had a home here. Where the hell is that home? It made me feel earlier. I recall this. It made me feel like if they have a house right here on this side of the... These memories are so fucked up from MK Ultra. That shit is so confusing. Heavy MK Ultra Street. This is all the stuff I would have to know. Everything, all about this stuff. They made a construction here, all that kind of stuff. I feel like they had some minorities here, something like that, like socially disadvantaged people. Like there were two barracks, and this was an ultra-violent location here. And they put that down and they put the shop. I don't know what kind of shop the hell this shit is. I thought that it would be a mechanic or whatever. It's some kind of a technical, whatever the hell that is. Normal British people came afterwards.
Here I have no damn idea what we're talking about here, but this is already long time ago. See, long enough that I would have to take a daytime to go over and burn my brain processor a little bit to get there to result. This place here, and this place been here, always been here. Robert Golop was, I have no idea, man. He was just, this shit looked like some kind of vacation place, you know, something like that. But really, I have to recall what the hell this shit is, because I do not, right at this point in time, I do not. It sure reminded me of some kind of vacation place. I am doing this stuff, to be honest with you, because of the people like the couple over there, and because of the guy here. I see a lot of you guys that were involved in this out on the streets and stuff. That's gonna help in any way. I always had a feeling like that this was a hotel, you know. Psychiatrists. Oh fuck! Hey, wait! Oh man! Hey, there you go. Hey, it's a hotel. Psychiatrists from Ljubljana Polje, Mateo Jeric, Bojan Zalar, psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, of course. This is what this shit was. This was a heavy torture area where they had it their way, and the schizophrenia they rehearsed here. Violence was just totally unlimited, man. Totally unlimited shit, basically. Total lunacy. This is a psychiatric violence. This is a different kind of violence. I partially described this stuff, then I would have to give you some examples, which I already have. This was the epicenter of the psychiatric violence, really. And once, as it appeared to me, it was over, then everybody wanted to be the friend with you again, basically. That's how it works, and be nice. It was everywhere the same shit. And this always been here. You know, this stuff has always been here. I am thinking about this location here. So I'm gonna give you this one here. What I would give you for this here. Let me just go over this stuff. The timestamp on this one here that I throw you. When this barracks went down, disappeared, two of them. Was about darker color. It was about color like that, but it was like more like a barrack like this, and it was in a really poor shape. Hell, man. This shit probably went down sometimes in, I don't know, 2003 maybe. Hell, I have no idea when the hell they put this shit down. But it's been a while since these people were out. I was coming here since my childhood, I told you. Since like 1980. And then it started to get totally insane, actually. In the 4th grade of grammar school, earlier than that already. Since my childhood I was coming here. I'm glad I did that stuff. That was a very heavy MK Archer Street. Then I found some other locations too. Now I'm gonna get myself out of here. And I'm gonna see where the hell I am. Let's see where the hell are we right now, so that we even understand what is going on. The way I orient myself is by this river here. See this beautiful river here? What you do is you get up on the bridge, because the water is what I love more than anything. And you look at this pretty site here, and then you think, what the fuck is going on? Then what you do is you go on a search for the man who met me, British guy who met me at a home for elderly people with his Slovenian wife. This area here that you see on the other side, that's the hell is that, housing? He claimed that his house is here in the city. The problem was his parents' house in this city here known as Brickon. You see, this is also the stuff that I should know, all this stuff. But the problem is they were switching the locations. They were demanding all kinds of, and I didn't even go through to see this stuff. This was all MK Ultra. This is what all I supposed to know. That kind of stuff, basically. Stick in the hands and tell me. And I'm not into this kind of game, as you know. I'm not very happy about the stuff that went on, and I don't plan on allowing anybody to drill me with ambulance vehicles in my ass. Basically, it doesn't work like this. Not under this kind of circumstances, or any kind of circumstances, because I don't have a time in my life. You know, I'm not a cretin. I am also interested in capital, in capitalism, in companies, and get something out of this life. You stole me 54 years of life. I'm 54 almost. In December I'm gonna be, and look what the fuck I'm doing. You have other trash that did nothing in this world to deserve bashing around with the hundreds of billions in property and stuff. This is beyond idiotic, next to overwhelming amount of proofs. I feel that British police I don't know. I don't actually even feel like meeting with the British police, because it's got nothing to do with the British police. British police failed, obviously. That's one thing. And the second thing is, there is other police around the world that takes care of that. There is other police in the world that should deliver invitation to the court, to the British police and to the British royals. You know, you don't need the British police to come here with the police and go over this building and tell what building, what's changed in the city, and so on. Anyhow, he claimed that his house is on this side of the city here, and in fact he was delivering me to this street very often, in this street very often here. Kind of a strange, let me make sure that this is not, he delivered me on every fucking door here, every house here. So that's like added trouble. Which house am I thinking about? Which house would that be? I have no fucking idea. The house, his house, according to what he claimed, should have been around here somewhere. One of these houses here, and I don't know. I really have to think about this stuff. This is just a rapid impression. I was just trying to find where this guy is coming from, if you understand me what I'm saying. And I don't know. Hell, I don't know. Maybe this is his house, or maybe that one is his house. I told you the biggest problem that I had with this guy was that he delivered me throughout the Britain, especially through the Wales. From house to house, from door to door, whatever the people were interested in, you know, in involvement into this case. So you can imagine how difficult this is. This is the area where their old house should be located. It's questionable. Supposedly they sold this house, whatever this house is, and you know, I would really have to think about this stuff. And his sister supposedly, the kids, I don't know how they purchased the house on the other side of the river. I'm gonna go there later, but right now, since I'm here and since I started this kind of business here, let's just finish this. This goes here. This is where he would bring me very often. Right through here. What the hell did I now do? I evidently I screwed myself up. I am on the wrong trail. And what the hell is this now? That's even worse. Let me come down and try to make the sense out of this one. Jesus Christ, This is behind. I remember that stuff. That's behind already. All this, everything, every house involved here. Everything involved, everything. There's some nice people here in the back. The further the people were from this jumbos, the nicer the people were. You know, the craziest people were in the first line. I guess they feared for their lives and stuff. I was in the grammar school Gurm in Novo Mesto where they would keep delivering me here. Even the schoolmates would come here to see a little bit around what is new in Britain and stuff. I guess the potential for the human relations, for the new human relations, or whatever you want to call this stuff. Okay, so I admit I'm a little bit beaten up right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. It really feels like as if somebody would hammer me a little bit. I told you this is in the back. You know, once I get this city, I can't go wrong no more. We go back to exactly where I came from. Shit. I went too far. Okay, so this is the bridge. Just think about the area where I had you. And so they bought a house, another house, in this side of the town. Oh man, this old house over there. And they bought a house here on this side of the town. So, oh my God, I don't know, 2008, maybe. 2008, 2010, you know what I mean? Something like that. Where the hell in this side of the town? Fuck, don't ask me about that. I'm not getting myself into that stuff. This is just already a lot of information that I give you. I'm not getting that because we can do this until the next year, and I'm not doing that kind of stuff. Let me see. If I... This couple here seems to me familiar. This is why I'm doing this stuff. Just that I let you know that it was this kind of stuff. Look at this girl that is keeping her hands like that. It's this kind of stuff that I'm doing this, and they were really doing this. I saw the stuff also in Austria that people came out and you could see people and so on. You see this river here? You see this housing here, this kind of stuff? I love the river so much, and what they would do is they would make sure that I would get the shit taste in my mouth along the river. This whole city was involved in this case of I could almost refer to this shit as a schizophrenia, man. Because this is sort of lobotomy they do to you. This is a type of lobotomy in my opinion. I'm not gonna be doing this. I'm just giving you a little bit taste. This is what I believe he is from. That's his city. This is what I think. That's what that is. Let me just see this here briefly. Hell, man, it threw me someplace. Let me just see this here. Yeah, I see this. See, the thing is that he knew all these streets. You know, he knew all the streets everywhere. He knew. This was from house to house. Believe me. Exactly what I described you. It really felt like his house, like his home. He was from many homes because he posed as like at his fake locations. He was giving me the impression of being from several different locations, with this location here also as one of them. This was yet another location where he posed that he was from. This street right here. Hop, stop that. I am charging something. You know, like as if he had two houses. Now, if he ever had two houses, totally MK Ultra Street this year. Chat found of the USB drive, a full system scan, Trojan crystal disk mark. I just fucking do that. So, yeah, okay, very nice. Thank you. Since I was child, right through here, walk through here, from house to house, all these houses involved, you understand? This place here, this was violent as hell, man. This was, people collecting the money with this stuff. People earned a lot of money with this stuff. This was a very rewarding stuff. Jobs, all kinds of stuff. And other people were just praying for me. It was all kinds of people. All kinds of shit went on. And the people that were praying for me became afraid for their lives and all kinds of stuff. I might come back one day here. I might not. I don't know. Look at that. There is a police car right there that's parked. Let me see this gentleman right there. This police car here parked. Hell, man, I don't know. I have a strong feeling that this is where he is from, that he lives here. But how the fuck can I say this when they were doing all kinds of stuff to scam me? You know? By now that man should be a police station director or boss, you know. These are the gardens here they had, and I think that his father's house, they had two houses, you know. These people had two houses, I think. His father's house might have been here, I don't know, and it might have been that his mother's house might have been somewhere here where I was earlier. Let me just briefly see this here. Let me just scan this stuff here. Let's see this here. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see this here. Okay, I see this. Let's see this here. Is this the street that somewhat kind of reminds me of the street that I came earlier? And on top of that, the mouse is doing me problems. Yeah, this is it, I think. This is the main street. Hell, man, it makes me feel like I'm a fucking home here already. Okay, so this is where we were earlier. And I suggested you for, nah man, we just get through here, boom, 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 we make it through this, and let me just see here, what exactly did I make it through? Alright, we have this here, we get this here, this one here, this, and hold on, let's see this here, Wells, utilities. So this is again, it sure sounds like that main street and that kind of stuff. Okay, so I want to go back. All these people that you see, all these people here in this city, everything that you see, especially who else other than workers, the street workers and police, of course. Everything was involved in this. There was no street worker that would not be familiarized with that, because they work on the street and so they see these things, right? So, so let me see this here. Okay, we were right there, we were here. Okay, let's continue to roll down. One location would be from the mother, is the one that I suggested you earlier, and I'm gonna try to clarify that once again. Let me just see this here. I already see that monster right there. There it is, trailer, the monster trailer, and we'll continue. Oh, that's a cute one. Look at that. Let me just make sure that we don't go to the cahoots. Yeah, I am again heading in the wrong direction. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop myself out as fast as I can. So I demonstrated the father's house, and I contemplate on demonstrating you also. I contemplate on demonstrating also the mother's house. So that would be a father's house, and then basically, let me get out like this. Oh man, I gotta see the housing, where this housing is. So you go here, you go across the bridge, and there you go. You go here, you go here, here. Yeah, that this is. I am searching and searching for the. Yeah, it's good that I not got myself into that stuff. That would be a stupid thing to do. Good, good, good. I gotta get here, here, here. Really, boy, this is weird. Ah, yes, yes, I see this now. So. Yeah. Wow. It's a bit weird, this stuff here, really is. And you go here. I'm gonna pop myself here again. And this is not a good place. Let's do it again. I did lost myself a little bit, to be honest. I lost the track of this a little bit. I did, just a little bit. I did. I hope it doesn't become my habit. Let's just get back down here. Okay, so anyway, what the hell? What kind of sheep? Back in the Indian show. What the hell? What kind of Yeah. Okay, we're good. We are good. Should I see this here? Henry Vaughan, Saint David's, etc., etc. Yeah, the psychiatrists are gonna have to explain that location. That was excellent, excellent, excellent shot. The best of the best. If you ask me, that's 10 out of 10, I would say. The police, psychiatrists, that's just top of the line. I shot into that one. Let me see this here. Let's see what the hell is this. Alright, so this is just a parking lot. I'm gonna jump through here. Hell, man, I have to do it again. There you go. There we are. A little bit awkward, but here we are again in the street. So he insisted that his mom is in a house like something, housing like something like this would be. But this is that they sold, and you know, that's what we are talking about. So we're talking about the mother's house and the father's house. The father's house, given that that's the one I already demonstrated you over there, and it's actually again the area I'm heading somewhat, so that I see why the hell would I even do that? No, that's stupid. Let's get out of here, and we're gonna do something else. Okay, now we're gonna go here. That's another MK Ultra location I will demonstrate to you, and then I am the fuck out of location for which I believe that this gentleman is from. And the stuff that I do is no less than insane. That's fucking lunacy. If you ask me, that's a fucking lunacy. That man came out of fucking nowhere, stepped over there at home for elderly people where I go to visit father in the city of the Novo Mesto. And that's what you're supposed to tell people. For me, this is the definition of the lunacy and beyond. No less. Bullshit. It's a craziness, madness, total madness is this. And given that they already have stolen your 54 years of life, this is a pure madness. I need this here, and how the hell that I should the location where I was earlier. Damn it, this is just, I did video record it already one, and here I am fucking myself with this just like that. Where the hell is that? That's is this it? This area here on Google Maps. Thanks God, that's 5 Hawthorne Lane. 5 Hawthorne Lane. This is yet another one. 5 Hawthorne Lane. Bracken, that it's correct. What the fuck is with me, really? What the hell was I doing? But you see, I was going along the river, right? I just too early I turned in. This was yet another location, MK Ultra location. Why the hell did it did this to me? No. Let me get out. You see, this is what I don't like. I like to gradually go there, get there, basically. That's how I analyze this stuff. Because, you see, this is just, that's exactly how you're not supposed to get there. You know. If you're doing the stuff like this, you do have to know what the hell you're doing. Because otherwise, it doesn't make fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense, okay? So, given that I know now where exactly I am, finally, I am gonna head. There is ways to get there, and it's kind of tricky, isn't it? This is where you make a turn, that kind of stuff. But I just love these streets. Why do I love these streets? Because, hell, this is how I learn. This is how I recall the stuff. Because it's of no use to me to just throw myself there either, you know. Let me see this here. Okay. No, I don't feel comfortable with this. There is one thing about me. I have to know precisely where the hell I am so that I make the decisions. Educated decisions. We're again almost next to the bridge, folks. Exactly where I was. And I'm gonna say thanks God. And now we are heading to the location where I want to be. Except that this is not the same bridge. This is a different bridge. How the hell I got here? No, it's man, let's just do it like this again. Okay, so I'm thinking about the couple. This nice couple. This is not the same location. No. What exactly am I doing now? The couple, the lady that has her hands crossed. I'm thinking about this girl. Let me go see this again. I know that's crazy. I know, but let me just. This is so. Damn it! This is so familiar to me. This couple. This couple met me on this bridge. So many times. Jeez, I would have to think over who she is, if she is even from Britain. If she is, what is she? I have to think about. By the profession is what I mean, and for the guy, and so on and so forth. This shit burns you, a brain processor. So we are finally heading to location. And also in the way that he would deliver me. Now, I could go through here. We could go through here, or we could go through the location that I demonstrated you earlier. This is another thing. This is a MK Ultra location. All these businesses here. This is also the stuff that I'm supposed to know. All this here. The whole history of these businesses here. All this stuff was involved in it. They were bringing me here, and that's all the stuff I should have known. All this stuff. Everything. All this stuff. Folks, this stuff, this shit, you should be thinking, you should be concentrating in it, and I got so much more important stuff to do. And this is basically almost like talking to myself, you know. This is his street where I would be delivered to. I told you about the father's house, right? And I already demonstrated you what mother's house looked like and where the mother's house supposedly is. Even though he demonstrated me also other houses, but you know, I don't have so much time, fuck that. There is your police car right there. And what I will do is I jumped right here through like they always used to do. And we'll continue this way. You see, he posts in front of other homes, and that's crazy stuff because that shit can confuse you. He doesn't even have to say that he's from this house or that house or whatever, but desperation, you know, I would refer to this as desperation from torture, due to torture, as they ask you questions. They confuse you. It's a confusion. This is a total dementia, total, you have to find the solutions in a total madness, basically. That's what you are required to do, no less. So this isn't precisely the easy thing to do. All these houses, all this area, all this MK Ultra area. In fact, let me go back here. And we will continue rather here. So, you say, my schoolmates from Slovenia used to see all this stuff. From the grammar school, they would be coming and watching this stuff. They saw all this stuff, everything. Meeting people and so on. Those that were interested in seeing this stuff. There is that's his homey area. All these people, everything here, all this stuff, all involved in it. The internet connection also is not exactly the best one. If I'm gonna have a chance to get anywhere still. Is this is the end, my friend? Really? These people, this was a young family that they were involved in it. And this was an ultra-violent location here. This was madness. Actually, let me see this here. Total fucking madness, this stuff here. It's hard to tell. One family was British, they were very nice with me. Another one was, I don't know, a mixed marriage. They promoted Nazism, fascism, basically fortifying, take me home. Hawthorne Lane, add photos, some dairy. Okay. I did not succeed here. I obviously I bumped into the area where I could not continue through, so but that's quite okay. This is very important for me to turn this way here. True, I have not done very well here, but still Yes, yes. We're gonna turn this way. Now, I was kind of feeling that we are heading back to this whole city was MK Ultra City. Everything that you see, house to house. The same thing, the same thing. Hell, I'm not doing that no more. Fuck this. It's no time for that. Let's get down here and let's get it on, man. This is... Let me just make sure that I see that... I am at the right location. This is elementary school, I think. And supposedly that she was even teaching here. She might have not been teaching here. I don't know. She was demonstrating me a school. And this was MK Ultra, heavy MK Ultra location. All this stuff here, this this school is where they would bring me since I was a child into this school, into this kindergarten school, elementary school. That I also have to think about all this stuff. I got to think about all this stuff. Going past school into this narrow street right here, my memories hurt. At one point in time, this was a very nice street with Princess Anne, Andrew, Charles that would deliver me, royals would deliver me here to this place. I see the garage here. I'm thinking about an old man who looked exactly like some kind of engineer. And his lady, I don't know who she was, but I am very certain that he retired before she did, because, or maybe he was having a vacation and he was working at home. That kind of stuff. The garage here you cannot go through, but yes you can, and that's already the area that I demonstrated you. It's closed. Oh Lord, where the hell is this here? Oh yes, oh yes, we are already far away from there, far away from there. We made it through. We already crossed that, and it was quite a big deal to do it. This is a very, very challenging job here. This is a school that no longer is. You see the facilities here that no longer exist. Now you would have to tell exactly this was the assignment about the school facilities which no longer exist and that kind of stuff. Why are you in these facilities? Why are you not among many other school facilities in Africa and throughout Asia and throughout Northern America, Britain and so on, Russia and so on? You fucking tell whether there was a school here or was not a school and that kind of stuff. Very, very difficult choice to make. I am not in a holiday mood anymore. and I am not making just second guess anymore. I'm not just throwing out the way they would want me to throw the things out and just say something and shit. Princess Anne challenge on this issue drove me crazy with Robert Golop and so on. I learned about one thing, that you better be sure about what you say, because you can destroy entire video. And there is just so much evidence, criminal evidence in here, that it's bursting from this. I mean, it's as simple as this. Let me see something there. Okay, forget about that. They had another school, and in these schools they also tortured. And for that school which they tortured, it's a trauma that they ask you if you want to have the school down or this and that, you know, that kind of stuff, and it somewhat matches this element here, and before you know, you say something stupid, and they are always correct. You can never prove them wrong because they switch the locations. That's for the lie detector purposes and so on. That's how smart these royals are, together with Milan Kučan, with Golop and so on. So would I cast my vote in this one here? Fuck no. Yeah, I know. I can hear Princess Anne already. Right now she's saying, even I would tell this and I would tell that, and I don't know what the fuck you would tell. Yeah, it could be, but then again, it was another location, 2 other locations that match more or less this area. And it could be those schools still are, and it could be these schools here never existed. It could be even this was just a parking space and so on. And so I'm not getting myself into this kind of stuff. I'm just browsing through, and I'm not going to go and just, you know, say something. What I can say to you is that this was used as a heavy torture area, this location here. Heavy torture area. And the rest of it I'm going to think about. And as I said that this was used as a heavy torture area, I already am much, much closer to the truth than I possibly could be just a few seconds earlier. I'm not even sure if there ever was any school here, in this place here. Now I already see my schoolmates here, because this was a heavy torture area here. And so I'm not sure anymore whether there's ever was any kind of structure here, school, as far as the school. It appears that there was a structure here, you know. It appears that there was something right there that stood up. But it's a question if this was in my lifetime. And I sincerely doubt it. Or what the hell is that thing right there? You know, this brings a lot of bad memories. I can hear the children screaming over there and having a time, and you know, I can literally see this man. I think he has 2 daughters. I think this man here from this house. I can see him in my, you know, 4th grade of grammar school. He was a very nice guy. I don't know, it appeared to be the British Royal stayed in this street here somewhere. This was, I have a feeling, Illuminati area. I can recall him on challenging me whether this garage that you see right there was there or the garage was not there, because they were against switching the locations with the similar locations. So that's why this shit is so dangerous, you know. The daughters, the 2 daughters I'm talking about, that's painful proof of my being here. I don't know if these 2 elder couple is still alive. I don't know about that. Both daughters, I know they are married, and when I see this house, when I see this structure, I don't even know what to think. This appeared to me as he would build this in the 8th grade of the grammar school. which was like in 1986 that he would finalize this, in 1985, 1984. But, this is not the case. I don't think that's the case. I think that this is just the way it always was. I think this is original, the way it was. It appeared as if he had here previously like a barrack, like wood made, that kind of stuff, built out of that kind of stuff. But no, I think that this is it, and I think they were using other locations, They fuck you up in such a way, but this is what this is all about. This is what this is all about. Just the other day I met the guy from Inter Europa, director of the company, transport company, trucks basically, semi-trailer transportation in Slovenia, and that's a branch from the city of the Novo Mesto, because they have their branches throughout the Slovenia. And he did some stuff with his mother. Imagine this shit. In 1998, 1999, as he would deliver me from the Adriatic Sea back to the Novo Mesto in a high-rise when he would be with his mother. And the thing is that they involve somebody else also in those high-rise and so on in the later time, like in 2008, 2009, that basically is 10 years. And he knew all about this stuff. The thing is that I asked, he said, did you got the promotion to become a director of this transportation company in the city of the Novo Mesto as I was, 14 years of age, like in 1984, between 1984 and 1986. And he said, no, I was always a director over there since, 1971 or whatever. And the thing is that he was the one who pushed two other guys to compete. He demanded from me to choose which one of the two is going to be the next one who's going to replace him. So these are the kind of issues that will easily fuck you up. They will easily make you say mistake. And it easily will provide solution for these people who were doing this kind of stuff. The next thing, he was talking about the bugs, the kind of bugs, the luck bugs, like a lady luck bugs that they appeared here in Slovenia, different kind. And he posed at the Trška Gora house. At least I was sure, or maybe it was somebody who looked like him. And I was sure that he was at the Trška Gora house and so on. I completely forgot that he was in an apartment building in the center of the city. How the fuck are you going to tell this when you meet people like this on a heartbeat? I usually do proof, but there is cases like this British guy that totally fucked me up. And I was left angry, frustrated, beyond belief. He even said, during MK Ultra, you're not going to have a chance until the next year. We meet next year, like this. And he left. And his wife was the one who was involved as a translator when I was child. Really. Few years of age only for Britain. From Slovenia. She was involved because I didn't want to learn English anymore because of stuff they were doing to me and stuff like this. And when I wanted to, they were even fucking with that stuff. She would not want me to, and so on. She worked directly under Josip Broz Tito. She worked directly for Milan Kučan, and they demanded for me to see these people as British option, alternative to the people that were coming from Slovenia, which was actually, they were even worse. So all these UDBA people, they surveillance next to the police watched everything. There's translators and people, everything they say and so on. This is so fucked up that you get the glimpse of what MK Ultra is when you start one as a baby, practically. Not practically, but yeah. That you just can't believe the shit that is coming out of me. I mean, you wouldn't get this kind of information in a million years from anyone else. It's impossible. This is actually priceless material. So, I don't know what to tell you. This was the city that was involved in it. And then, of course, there were other cities. There were entire Wales that was involved in it. but this video is about this guy. And this guy distributed me throughout entire Wales, especially. He was in charge for the Wales. Yes? He was in charge for the Wales. He delivered me through all these locations here that you see. Through I'm gonna put you some interesting housing down below. Landovery was big MK Ultra too. All these villages, everything. This was all Prince Philip royals, basically. What is this here? This is you know, all this stuff here. What the hell is this here? Leondello, all this Landovery, and what is this here? Carmarthen, Landovery, all this stuff, man, all this stuff. This was all MK Ultra. That's what he would be delivering me. But this is about this guy video, and I think I gave you a very, very good, very, very decent description of where, more or less, at least this is what he instructed me to see, this man is coming from. And what I'm gonna say to you is that there is such place as a Sebastopol here. You see that, and that location is already much closer than the one I had you to a Newport. Okay, Newport is a big city, and the thing is that the daughter from his sister, I understand, they moved with the mom, with his sister, into the area of Sebastopol, but that's basically more northern of the Sebastopol. I have no fucking idea. It could be, well, that this here, this would be the town, which is a Pontymoyle, you know, and the daughter later. Okay, at the latest stage, the daughter of his sister, I believe that she moved up north, and I have no fucking idea where. Isn't that funny? But probably somewhere in the area of Nottingham, something like that. And that's all because of the jobs area, or I have no idea, Barnsley or whatever the hell. Because Britain is so big. This is such a big place. I mean, me coming from a small location, and I feel the best about that. I prefer village than city. Like Sheffield area, Buxton, I have no fucking idea. That's supposedly is where she moved, and there should be like a city hall where she would be employed working for the government and that kind of stuff. She had a university degree and so on. As for the British guy, the Welsh guy, he purchased the apartment with his Slovenian wife, and it's like, I have no fucking idea how to say this, what kind of apartment the hell that would be, but it's like half apartment, half house. I don't know, man. That's like, oh boy, I didn't want to do that stuff, but okay, let's do it. I don't know what he told me, that he moved to the London or whatever. No, hell no, man. That's what, Oxford. I think that he told me Oxford. I yet have to listen to his tape. Yet this is how authentic these memories are of mine. So he definitely didn't mention any of this stuff, and what I was frustrated, man. So that's Oxford right there. So, oh shit, look, Oxford is not even too far from this Newport anyhow area. So I think this is excellent stuff that I provided in respect to this man who was coming, to whom he was one of the most dedicated people in this case. This is not an ordinary guy. He was extremely dedicated, and he really knew how to treat me as a child. I would even mind him to adopt me when I was a child. I mean, his Slovenian wife, stay there. No. Yeah, you're talking about the housing project, newer one that you purchased, like you would have apartment, like, I don't know how the hell townhouse looked like. Now, let me see this here. Oh, my nose, ladies and gentlemen, townhouse. My nose is totally messed up, man. It's, yeah, there you go. Like, something like this in the UK, in the Britannia, you know? And that would be, I don't know, apartment in the middle, or, you know, something like this. The two appeared to me did not have any kind of children. That's the question I did not ask him. At least, I don't think I did. I did audio recorded the whole thing. And so, absolutely there's no fucking doubt that I know this guy very well. What angered me even more is he suggested me that I should just report him to the British police and shit. Like I'm here to report the people to the police. What the fuck? I mean, yeah, he had disappeared, and the thing is that was really difficult, impossible to tell anything. And when I considered the degree of torture that they were involved in for the sake of Milan Kučan and so on, Ljubljana, because Ljubljana dictated. This guy did not like Ljubljana, but his wife is a Slovenian, and so that kind of stuff. Man, I thought I would go berserk completely. I was traumatized for several weeks since he visited me and left back to Britain. So, that being said, we're gonna take a date and time here. Daytime, come on, man. My nose is killing me, and I do need to use the restroom. That's another great thing about this stuff. I might come back and do some more on this MK Ultra issues in Wales. But overall, this is just not really what I planned on doing in my lifetime. The Indian people were involved in this. Indian minority was involved in it. This location, as well as the location next to the bridge that I demonstrated you, the restaurant, this is the only place they said that you like is here, is here that you like, where a Gurkha is. It's the only place in Brecon that I liked, supposedly. That's what they claim me. These Indian people were involved in it. And British royals were extremely generous with disallowing me to come absolutely anywhere close to the water. They did brought me maybe twice here to see this park here, which is close to that Gurkha location, and then they would just dump me out by also introducing Indian people in MK Ultra, who, by the way, acted like a total criminals. It was Mount Everest of violence at this location here. Unfortunately so, that's the way it was done. whatever they delivered me, this Indian people felt like, I don't know, owners of the Indian restaurant, owners of the whole place, basically. That's at least what they wanted to make me feel. They wanted to make me feel like they're number one, like they're the biggest, and so on and so forth. And that was obviously a major turnoff to see a minority in Britain trying to make itself look as big as possible, while at the same time doing their best to catch you, to marry you, to whatever they wanted to do. That was like a major turnoff for me. Doing their best for me, basically, to see myself in Britain like in a prison. Like you're delivered to the Britain to see us. Exactly in that sense. And on the other hand, watch British do their part. That's basically instigate in a racism. And obviously what the fuck you do if you deliver somebody in your country and you subject him to torture by minorities. And it was the same thing that was done with the Chinese minority and others and so on. A major fuck up, I would say. Major fuck up. The kind of stuff that British royals look forward to. To stop my case from surfacing up. No, that's what you want. That's what you go. That's the kind of stuff you go and you do. This kind of stuff. You don't want people to learn about that kind of stuff. Well, let's just leave them in their own world. But these people truly did contributed to a lot of problems. They just did not want me to get along with the Chinese, with the Indians, nor with the Russians, nor with the Africans, not with the South Americans, not with bloody anybody. It is just as simple as that. You wouldn't be doing this kind of stuff if that's not what you wouldn't want. And exactly because of that reason, I didn't even want to have absolutely nothing to do with minorities, whatever country I was delivered to. You know? Eventually I did. With the Asians I did, but it just didn't feel right. It just didn't. I mean, I did. It all depended, you know. If it was some good-looking lady, then I did. But the thing about all this stuff is that that's how you regulate the case, right? That's how you regulate the case. That's how you that's how you regulate the stuff. And the thing is that the Asians, they did not even believe any of this shit. That's the best part about it. But it was about corruption. It was about the money, you know. And so they would just, you know, they wanted the whole case, you know, their lawyers, their attorneys, they want the whole case to look as legitimate from their perspective as possible. The whole thing was a crap, this thing here. Anyhow, the British guy left me. The British guy left me pissed off before he left. Like I said, he repeated the magic words from MK Ultra that left me half insane. He even suggested that they would turn against me, assisting Milan Kuchan and that kind of stuff. Ljubljana, the psychiatrists, if I would not on the spot at home for elderly people, if I were not on the spot, yes, the way this stuff was done at home for elderly people, like on the spot, if you will not tell on the spot who I am, if you will not tell on the spot who she is, pointing at his wife, Slovenian wife, that would be like, it would just go and work with the Milan Kuchan instead. If you don't tell me on the spot when you see my car. No, I did not take a photo of these people. I don't take the photos of the people. I don't do that. I don't like doing that kind of stuff. I don't do that. Even the police told me that I should do that. I don't do that kind of stuff unless somebody pisses me off. They did not angered me. They were parked here somewhere, so now there's a car, and you ought to tell me on the spot who I am, where am I from, how many brother, sister, and I don't know what else. On the spot. I was like, I hoped I would meet one the next day or something, and truly, I saw him just entering this home for elderly as I was going home with my mom. I was waiting for my mom because my mom takes my father upstairs, and what I see before she find her way out, because we were with the father, right? And so my mother takes father upstairs. I see this British car, and then I see this man, and I see the lady over there, and I said, God, I said, what the fuck, this guy was involved in MK Ultra. Now I said this to myself, and what the fuck are you gonna do now? I mean, to know the fucking guy, you have to have something, at least fucking something. There's no way that you're gonna see somebody step in front of you, and you say hi, and he says, who am I? Well, what the fuck? I mean, it's a little bit difficult. I'm not a card reader. I mean, I'm not a future teller, I'm not a whatever you say this, I don't read minds to people. I need something, I didn't even get the fucking picture, Maybe I should have taken a camera and just pointed his face and start to record him with his shoes and everything. That would go along, I'm sure, pretty well. Simply, I had nothing to grab myself onto. I see the lady. Finally, I started to make mistakes just shooting this stuff that was related also to other people, mistaking his identity with identity of other people, This is how you get the feel. Because this is MK Ultra, man. This is, you fucking drugged up and you're subjected to this type of stuff that numerous people perform. So now you need to find that exact identity, otherwise everything goes to hell. And based on mistakes that you make, even based on mistakes that you make, you find the right identity of an individual. So this is not so easy. And so I was so pissed off about this stuff. It was the worst. I said to myself that day, this was the worst meeting I had with anybody ever. There's another guy from Inter Europa who screwed me up also. He did screw me up. He did. I have to say he did. He did. He cheated. He did. But nothing like this ever before. I always justified everything. And boy, he sit in the fucking car. The words that stay with me is his goodbye. He said to me, I see you when I see you. I don't know if he said that. This is actually my saying. He said, I see you next year. And for the next year, he had with the psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, whom he knows very well, extremely well, They were laughing at me with the police together. They said, they said, if basically, and fucking around, if my father still is gonna be alive, and even insisting that I would be already inside of the home for elderly people through the stroke, through those kind of issues. So this goodbye that he said, I see you next year. He figured out I would be so pissed off because of this stuff. He said, hey, you should probably report me to the British police. No, this is the kind of guy he is. I mean, I just, man, I was half insane this last month because of the meeting with this guy. No, seriously, you don't know how sensitive this stuff is, how emotionally left me broken with his goodbye. It was, he said, you probably, and he said on the side, he said, he said, you probably are going to be in Britain before I will get there. I said to him during MK Arjun, how am I going to know? How am I going to know that? He said, don't worry about it. He said, you're probably going to be at my address, at my home address before I get there. See, shit, I didn't even do Oxford yet. Maybe I should do that before releasing this one. And definitely there's going to be another real estate video. That's what I call a real estate video. One more like this it's going to be. I'm going to release in respect to this case. I might go a little bit and play with that play yard and all kinds of stuff because Princess Anne ate my brain like an amoeba during MK Ultra. She was like, oh, even I know this. Oh, even I know that. You don't even remember that. Yeah, play me down and my IQ and, you know, doubted me and so on. Boy, you don't know how that feels. That's very tormented stuff. They all did. It was not Princess Anne only. Princess Anne was on a good side, but, you know, she had her ways anyways. It's going to be another one like this I'm going to do. We're going to play a little bit with the Britain. I have to figure out what the girl was doing on that bridge. You know, the girl that girl with this guy. It was just this couple, a nice couple that was here. This was a very nice couple. That girl, I was very sure that she is, and that's why she is on this bridge. She is on the bridge only because of one thing, because I assume that she is from Spain or something. I assume that she is. What the hell is this now? No, I'm not on the right bridge. So this is a very, very, very good video. Very good video. The people that were involved in this stuff definitely can feel the Bobby. Yeah, you can definitely feel me. You know, it's me. Where the hell is this here? Let's see this here. Let me see this here. Yeah, why do we have this now going on here? Seriously, we're not supposed to have it this way. There's supposed to be there is that's on the other side of the bridge. Damn, it always turns me in the wrong direction. And I still have the cold, but I feel already so much better now. The girl who did this with her hands like this, she, I really like the British people because it was a lot of goodwill in them to help me out, and they did suffer a little bit. For instance, this one here, I told her that she is probably from, I don't know. I have no idea. And I don't know how she took it. She is a British, and I told her that she is probably from another country. I don't know, Spain or I don't know, Morocco or something. I have no idea. And so that there you go, that she was allowed to be right there. So she is, based on my memory, might be even a university graduate. Extremely modest girl. Extremely modest girl. Very nice. And the guy only has, it's kind of funny because I expected him to be an engineer or something, whatever. He just have, I think, like a 3-year school, something like a mechanic, you know. And she might be actually a pharmacist with a university degree. Either a pharmacy technician, please excuse me, or she's a university graduate. I don't know. To me personally, I don't know. During MK Ultra, I just, you know how it is. If I was in India, let's say, and I had a Indian woman, you know, it was all good. It was all good. I like that. But I didn't see myself in an Indian woman in Britain or in, you know, or in a Germany or whatever. You know what I mean? It just didn't somehow click because it was different kind of beauty that surrounded me. You know, the taste. You started to develop the taste, you know, in a certain country based on the people that you see, you know. And the same thing was pretty much with everything. With everybody was the same thing. I would just not, and with the Chinese and with the black girls, whatever the case might be, you know. If I saw it in Africa, it was good. If I saw it in, you know, whatever the hell I saw it, you know, there was something nice, you know. It was basically where they originate from. It was very appealing to me. But it was not appealing to me when they were in another country. Of course, this is not the same thing in reality, in real time. But during MK Ultra, this is just the way it was. So he would have 3-year school or something like this, and she has a university college degree. You know, I think that she has a college degree. This girl is really a sweetheart. She's really a sweetheart. She was just I was kind of nasty to her, and she was just nice. So amazing stuff that I saw it. Amazing. What about this here? What do they do? Let me see this. No, this is just a mom with 2 kids. I have no fucking clue about this one. The mom is a bit familiar to me. Mom is a little bit familiar to me. Jesus Christ, she gained a lot of weight. I don't think that she was like this always. Or might have been. Hell, I don't know. I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna stay out of this one here. Let me see this here. This Indian people here in this restaurant in the back, they wanted to make me feel like they own the whole place, you know. And that's not what you want to do with somebody during MK Ultra, you know. No, I think they were okay people. I remember the guy from this restaurant. He just I remember how they would rent the place. I think they rented out about there was a major shake-up here. The ownership shake-up here. They did have some Desi girl, that kind of stuff. There was a major ownership shake-up They yeah, they had a problem. They had to do the stuff like this so they could even rent the place and stuff like that, because they did this through this case, so they didn't have any option other than to follow up whatever they were told to do. It's basically the best way that I described as possible. They came extremely handy to psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, to the psychiatrist from Ljubljana Polje who wanted to get me killed through the psychiatric hospital. They came extremely as handy to the British Royals. I believe these people appeared here, unless that might have been also used as a ghost restaurant. It was all kinds of stuff. It might have been restaurant and it was other people who served there and stuff like that. That's something I would have to go and see, for fuck's sake. You gotta see it. I remember them at this place, 2008, definitely through psychiatry, 2012, 2013, 2014. But it's got something to do, it's got to do with other issues, This is a beautiful video, because this restaurant, based on the Indian guy and stuff like this that I recall, this will go to 2005, 2004, 2004, 2005, unless they were doing some ghost working, I would say 2004, I think they came from London or something like that, directly through the Prince Charles. They moved to this area here. Beautiful state-of-the-art video is this here anyways, with Deluxe location, which I demonstrated you. I didn't even look for the second home that kids from his sister, from this British guy. He's Welsh. She's very proud. He's Welsh. He's very Welsh. This is the last Welsh guy. That's it, man. I didn't even look for that home yet. I could look for that stuff. I didn't bother with that kind of stuff. Maybe I'm gonna get on his doorsteps, but he already made it to the Britain. I wanted to say before he gets to Britain. No, it's too late, man. State-of-the-art, beautiful video with what I pointed you out, even as a location where psychiatrists from Ljubljana Polje, a hotel, they would stay for so many bloody years with the Milan Kučan, with the Robert Golob. I like that kind of stuff, man. Really like it. The way I did this video is actually have fallen quickly to place. That's it, folks. I'm getting myself out of here. I am gonna do more about this video. I gotta do more. I gotta do more about this stuff. You see, it says here hospital, Brecon High School. You see that? You see that stuff? Like a school, like a high school, this and that, and this and that, and back and forth, and bing, bang, boom. I have to think about. I have no fucking clue. I ain't gonna say anything. I gotta be very careful with this stuff. Very careful, because of so many other locations they have used. One moment I was here, in another moment I was already in Poland. This is like you switch the TV, you hold the remote control in your hand and you switch between the programs. Because you're drugged up, and because of the exceptional ability of them to completely disconnect you. You just disappear, basically. That's why it's so important that you are so exhausted when they do this stuff like this. That's why it's important that you walk for days. You know what I mean? And they're switching you within these locations. So this is actually the preliminary part for MK Ultra to do, is for the person to be sleep exhausted, sleep tired, totally fucking exhausted and traumatized and so on. These are actually preconditions what I described as MK Ultra. Okay? That should have been just the way you see it here. Two buildings right there. I remember the school, but I am not sure if this was here. And this school would actually go down based on MK Ultra brainwash sometimes when I was 12 years of age. That will be basically in 1984, 1983, 1982. But let me count this really quickly. 4 plus 2, 1982. But the thing is that most likely what I described to you right now was yet completely another location, which was the type of crime was a specialty of Robert Golob and Milan Kuchan. So what I stated to you, that there should be a building and stuff like this, the filthy stuff, the filthiest stuff that British royals would do is, the filthiest stuff that these people would do is, they did not bother to block Robert Golob from switching the locations. But what they would do instead is they would just be using the police to interrogate, to see what you remember, and use the interrogation procedures to confuse you on variety of location with location that you are right there watching at. These are extremely dishonest people, extremely con artist people. That's also one of this. Just everything about them, it just doesn't make me happy. I'm going to put it this way. And that's exactly the stuff they were doing. They were just as guilty for the shit that went on as Robert Golob, Milan Kuchan, and so on. This was not about whether you're going to have ability to recall the memories, but it was more about ability to screw you up and make you mistaken in people and locations and etc., with a variety of people and locations involved in it. This is a very bad. There is no misconception from my point of view. This is a very bad case about misconception from their point of view. Their view on this thing, on this whole thing, is very distorted. I don't know. And it's not so distorted because these people did not even like me. They didn't want me anywhere. First of all, the stuff that they did to me, you don't do to anybody unless you really don't like, unless you really dislike the person. It is just as simple as that. So, the high school is right here based on what I see. This is the high school. They did have me inside. This is actually a Brecon College. It's not even a high school. This is not even a high school. This is a college. Yeah, I remember that stuff. But no, I screw myself up, and I'm not gonna go and record another video, whatever. I don't do that stuff anyways. Yes, it is true that next to this high school, yeah, so this is, I have more information about. Yeah, I'd be damned, that was a high school, really was high school. I thought it would be elementary school more than high school. That must have been here then, really. Shit. So this here really is an eye-opener. Yeah, because you know why I know this stuff now. You see, you make one mistake and you learn from mistake. Because the kids here inside of this, obviously this was not an elementary school, it was a high school. They were not very nice. This was a sort of nasty place. And the students here were much nicer with me. This place here was involved in a lot of violence, really. And I even was told that this was the reason why I needed to go away. Now, is this true? Is this the way it actually was? I am just afraid that it could be a part of the brainwash, because this is the way MK Ultra works. What they do is they relay you from one shit into another to confuse you, to screw you. It's always a logical explanation for the stuff that doesn't exist during MK Ultra, because this shit is all done by the police. That's exactly what police enforces. I am still undecided about this location here, but I think this school had to go down because of what I stated. The kids were quite violent, and it was gone. The wife of the British guy, I have to think about. Like I said, there's going to be another video. I got to think about this stuff. No, this isn't about that stuff only. It's about another issue. This definitely looks like this was a school here, as you see it. You know, the way you see this definitely looks like that was a school. Fuck that. The question is, when this school was no longer here? That's where the problem is. And that's where, again, was an issue about that stuff. Some people claim that the school was already long gone before I even got there. Other people, the pictures, the experience that I have interacting with the kids is suggested me that school was there till I was about maybe, I don't know, 12 years old or something like that, a teenager. And I have to think about that kind of stuff. The problem is, because there are so many other locations that somewhat remind of this here. So this is the kind of stuff that I have to think about. When was it that this school have gone away? Have I actually saw it, or I did not saw it? For me to say something that there was a actually this school here was. I don't like to say stuff that I don't recall, and this school really was there, because at one point in time it was the news that came out that you know, the couple that was here, that I demonstrated you, the couple here on the other side of this yard here, that the couple, this couple here, they I was told that we go through there, but not only by them, but this is just a couple. in my I have to think about this kind of stuff. I gotta yet think about this kind of stuff. The couple owns the house on the other side of this play yard, right here across the hill. They own the house. And now you see, the thing is that before we can get there to their house, I think they have also 2 daughters. I think they have 2 kids, or at least 1 daughter. I know it was on the picture. I know that. And yeah, I like this couple. Anyhow, the thing is that before they started to walk through here, you know, and I think actually that shit that I'm not sure. His father, I remember the father on the picture, everything. He has brothers and he has more kids, but then again I'm thinking about something else here. He is so this is what the hell I have to be very careful about. So this is the stuff that I shouldn't be just going like this. But the older generation of the Brecon people, what they would do is we would go through here, we would walk through here, you know, we would walk through here. But then there is a big problem about this stuff. They did something very bad, I have a feeling, because there was location that you could go through, and it was location that you could not go through, and yeah, this couple definitely has a daughter, and their house is basically here. Let me demonstrate you their house. Yeah, I think that's his house. I think that's his house. That's what I think. I just want to see what the hell is this here. This is like a brand new construction here. What are they doing? What the hell is this thing here? This is like a new homes here. They're not supposed to be not supposed to be new. Yes. The couple bought, like, to me at least, so it appeared that it was a new home. And this is extremely confusing for me. This is very, very confusing for me. Oh shit, what I didn't know. Very, very confusing for me, this stuff here. Because it appeared to me as if the two purchased the house over there. As they had a new housing and stuff like this, and now I already know where their house is also. This is the way this stuff goes. This couple, none of these two are from here originally. It's like I stated in the video, they moved down here, that kind of stuff. They would be somewhere. This whole thing looks like a new housing development here. So that is very, very confusing for me. So this is this thing here. And then there is nothing over there. That's a serious puzzle. That's a very, very serious puzzle. So anyhow, I think that the couple that I demonstrated you, I would say that if anywhere, they would be like at the beginning of this development, something. And that would be basically, let me just see something here. Oh, we're uphill here, really. Well, that's not the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, I remember there were like two, three houses only here, and then they started to develop this stuff here. To me, based on my memory, as it appeared to me, there would be just a. This, when it all started, this stuff here, there were only 2-3 houses here, like farm. Oh, this development here, this goes way back in time. I don't even know if I can see the. Let me just see something else here. Okay. This development started probably, I would say, going back in time like this. I don't know, man, like 98, quite late. This here was the first development, I think. This was like a first stage here. That's a problem with this stuff. It's a very, very serious problem, because you can do stuff. Let me see this here a little bit here. All right. This is all Robert Golob area, and whatever Robert Golob shitted, Golob means pigeon. This is really a pigeon shit. I just ought to be very, very, very careful with this stuff. As I go 2006, development of 2006. Development. They knew that I will be here. I am at the right place. So I'm at the city of the British guy. So I know that I win this stuff here. The kids who bought the houses here are the big kids who finished the community college in that area. I remember them when I was so much younger, young couples when they moved in here. 2006, 2003, even 2003 I trace. And it's exactly the way I told you. There was just a, you know what was here? There was one decent home and everything else was shit. It was just more like a barracks, and there was one house, one really decent house. To me, it rather looked like a wealthy farmer here. Like some kind of a wealthy farmer that had a one beautiful house. And the rest of it was more or less a rather fuck up, and that's where they started the development. Like rather poor housing, and that's like a decent housing. Now let me see something else here. This is not where the couple that I demonstrated you is from. So I'm trying to find their house, I'm trying to find their home. And so since I was not here with the Google Maps before, I just have to take a little extra time to see this, to find the home from the couple. Okay, so now we're here. Now let's go here. There is some construction that goes over there, and the house from the couple would be basically it just they would not give me, they doubted me. You go down here, yes, okay, let's see this here. Am I gonna get a chance to go down there or what now? Yeah, this. Oh, wait a minute now. This way. No, it doesn't allow me to go down there. The couple played with me. Like it was like house over here, and then that it was house over there, that kind of stuff. When they threw me into psychiatric hospital, these people just started to do stuff that they're not supposed to. They wanted to prove that I was really insane, I guess. The housing from the couple would be, let me just do this stuff again here like this. To me personally, the way it looked like, holy shit, that I cannot, I am again back there. To me personally, the way it looked like there was a home like this, you know, there was one of the homes like this. But to me personally, the closest way it came to description of this would be something like this, but unless they were doing very difficult to tell, The guy who was involved in this, remember, he worked for the construction company. He knew for every site in the Britain
as a delivery, as a MK Ultra delivery guy who would dispatcher, a courier. He was the one who delivered me, and he worked for the construction company. Remember that?
Imitating another construction location, etc., etc. It's not even a difficult thing to do in his case. I think the couple had 2 daughters that ended up in the university, and as retired, they even suggested me that they move in one of the houses like this, which it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It definitely doesn't give me a lot of sense that they would do that. Initially, however, I have to say that their home appeared to me that it as if it would look like something like this. And actually there is a garage door right there. The husband, I remember his father, like I said, must be somewhere something like a technician, and the wife must be somebody with a degree. I have no idea who she is, what she is. Might be a teacher. I am not sure about it. Accountant, something like that. I don't know. That's basically what I think that the couple is from. Very, very difficult stuff. Stuff that really push you to the test, to the limits. Again, when you did the couple that you have seen, they post in this environment, in different housing, in different houses, even as the residents doubted me to tell them where their home is while posing in different locations. That stuff will make you difficult to tell where the couple is from. I am only troubled with this location here because I need some kind of strong memory in respect to this case here. And Robert Golob did absolutely everything to discourage me about this here, about the stuff that went on here. This here, this here. Yeah, these kids were bad and supposedly took the school down. Supposedly that's what they claimed. The problem is that I remember being and tortured and everything, and if the location I view right now, I do have to think about this stuff more. Yeah, there is a piece of memory that is missing in my head, for I should really not make any statements before I know exactly about this place, basically in details. I love this here. I love this here. This is totally priceless for me. This is for the psychiatrist from Ljubljana Polje. A beautiful, beautiful gift for me is what this is. Nurse Andrea Jeric, psychiatric nurse. Director of the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje. is cretins are actually afraid to even display a psychiatric hospital. Do you see this shit? We are on 200 meters, and it's right there in front of you. It's right next to here, right next to this location here. And what's the matter? What happened? And they put the university psychiatric hospital in front of the psychiatric hospital. I don't know what this has to do with the university. Holy shit. That much better for me. Disgusting. Disgusting fucks. They restricted to the people entry into this psychiatric area. They put the ramp here. Security. Check this out. This is where they hijacked me from Poland, and they delivered me here, and I saw this stuff here. I couldn't fucking believe what the fuck went on here. I said, what's going on? I did not even recognize. I definitely did not recognize this place. It made no fucking sense to me. I was like, what the hell is this shit? Drevesnica Studenec. Sadna Drevesnica Studenec. Let me translate this for you. My father was a fruit grower also. Excellent fruit grower. He knew how to, like nobody else, he knew how to graft the fruit and stuff. He was just expert in it. Totally expert. Where no other people could do, he could do the stuff. He could do the stuff like you would not believe the stuff, that the way he was doing the stuff, like a magician. Like a magician. He was really expert at this stuff. He also he loved grafting, and a fishing harvestry technician was by their profession. My father was coming here in this place. This is Kmetijsko Gozni Zavod Ljubljana. My father was coming here maybe to even teach how to do the stuff that I stated to you. He would get the advice from the professionals like this. This is from the Institute for the Harvestry and for the graft, for the stuff for not graft, but fruit farming. State fruit farming. Slovenian state, Yugoslav state was before. And the next door, whenever father would come here, they had a psychiatric hospital, so that the father would even spend time here at this place here with, from what I recall, employees that were here. When I was in a grammar school, and the next door here, they would torture me inside of the psychiatric hospital. When I was I was not a child, but I was a teenager. And as a child, they had me here. So I don't know where the father got the passion for grafting, fruit growing and stuff. Maybe he got it from here. I have no fucking idea. These people have a lot to explain about the stuff that went on. These fucking animals have a lot to explain. There is no people here. There is only one people here, and that's me. A human. The rest of it is bizarre and disgusting as it gets. So, yeah, they delivered me from Poland. They delivered me from Poland, hijacked me from Poland, and they would deliver me here to see the changes of the psychiatric hospital and stuff. Talking about so-called police officers from Novo Mesto police station. Undercover investigators, that kind of stuff. Fucking Slovenian animals. Let me not lose myself too much. This is so beautiful, this stuff here. So beautiful. This location here, this place here that you see, that the way they fix this stuff here, as I told you, they have economically disadvantaged, maybe even minority people here. I'm not sure. I think it was a single father and has a daughter and stuff like that, with already her husband and or maybe also the son and so on. This was like a hellhole, this place here. I think they had some minorities in here also, that they rented out the place. This was a total violence. Total violence, this place here. This is what psychiatrists from Slovenia, Slovenes had their base basically right here. This place, I estimate for this place came up to life, I would say, very difficult for me to say, between 2003 and 2006 I would say, but I'm trying to figure out this was such a fucking misery and poverty and stuff. Whoa, man. Corruption, total corruption. Royal corruption, really royal. Royal. Royals, you have to remember, they always work with the poorest group of the people in the society. Any system always works that is right on the top of the state. They always work also with the poorest part of the society. In Slovenia, a police state is right at the top of the state. Slovenian queen is a police. That's what that is. That's how they think they're gonna have this. This was a single guy who purchased this place. This was a single guy, and I don't know what he does. A very nice British guy. He might have got partners afterwards, whatever, but it was one guy, tall guy, semi-blonde guy, who told me that about maybe, I don't know, 1.90 centimeters, who told me that he took over this and that he plays this and stuff like that. These jumbos they had, I think it was over with sometimes in 2003. I would still go with the 2003 yeah. And there is one other thing that I did not clarify in the video so far, that also bothers me just a little bit, that I'm not very happy about that one. So that's basically that's a neighboring street. That's a neighboring street that I do not understand. That I do not understand. Like, for instance, what the fuck is going on here with this? With this here. But I'm mistaken this a little bit here. Have I really or not? First I have to establish whether it even makes sense or just how much did I lost myself here. It's extremely important for me personally, because I always, man, I felt during torture that I want to escape to that lady. It was elderly couple. I remember the lady. It made me feel like I want to fucking escape. And the couple was gone, and the house belonged to the daughter. Also, they had a daughter. I found out later they had a... okay. So that I need to... So they were switching the streets here a little bit. This is just... It should be a neighboring street, so... Oh, I got to see this here. Yeah, this is not it. This is a street next to. The way the Slovenians presented to me this issue was like, what the fuck are you gonna do here? They don't have nothing here. It's a shit place and so on. I don't know. They had a lot of beautiful daughters here. A lot of beautiful daughters. A lot of these beautiful British girls they had. But the way things were, the way this stuff was done, really is regretful. The couple that you have seen right there is going to have to explain a lot about the psychiatry. There you go. It always made me feel like I want to escape to this lady here. There was an old lady here with this little house here. Such a beautiful little house here. And when they were doing the torture, I was thinking about that I would sneak myself from the people, that somehow, some way I would, this is just next door, you know, that I would escape, and the place that I would escape would be to this old lady that was here. This is what the daughter, they also had a daughter, inherited. And it was just old lady. I don't know. I remember definitely her husband might have deceased, passed away, whatever. This goes so far back in time. I was thinking about how nice would it be to escape to her in this little house here. This was my little sweetheart house. During MK Ultra, I felt like I want, like a cat, escape in these bushes, because it's so bountiful of bushes here and stuff. And I was really contemplating and just waiting on how I could actually escape. Actually, I even pretended myself stupid and was just waiting for the opportunity so that I could escape here. I might have asked the lady to please hide me somewhere, but it was just this little beautiful house here that made me feel like I want to fucking escape right here. I was thinking about how nice would it be to throw myself into the bush and just disappear. And actually, this here is the location where I already started to practice, contemplate on how exactly that I could do that. The way this stuff was is that one time I already have done that, but there is no way to escape, and I really did it, and I did it here. Thinking they're not going to find me. And it was Robert Golob who pretended that they don't see me and stuff like this, that kind of stuff. And then they pulled me out, and then instead of this, they kept me in this area. They claimed that they were trying to find me and that I was not. That kind of stuff. That little house is just so beautiful right there. This is already a younger family that moved inside of this house. The poor old lady is already long gone, I'm sure. That lady liked me, and I think that I honestly think that she also was contemplating or something, but what are you gonna do? I mean, there's nowhere you can. This morons, so many idiots that there's no way you could escape. There's no fucking way you could escape. One time I did escape them in United States, and it was like this, and I remember it was a hill. It was very, very steep up the hill, and all the fuck I know is I started to run and run and run the fucking uphill, and I said to myself, boy, I said, I'm gonna fucking escape you motherfuckers, and you're not gonna find me. I said to myself, I'm gonna fucking live inside of the bush, inside of the forest, whatever the fuck it is, some way, somehow, till these chemicals go out of my body, and then I'm gonna save myself like this. And what Americans did with me, they started to fuck with me. That was in Carolina, actually, in a Billy Hills. The sheriff was dispatched, and they started to torture me, imitating my escape and stuff like that. Stupid shit that involved all kinds of stuff, including catching me and imprisoning me, and I don't know what else the fuck. Stupid stuff. Really, really stupid stuff. I did not manage to escape anywhere. I just actually I did. You know, they were talking and talking and talking, and all of a sudden I just perished. And I came a long way, and they say, well, where is he? Where is he? They couldn't believe that, you know, that you can get away so quickly. And it was a valley and hills. It was totally hills with a valley between those hills, and I just went uphill and uphill. And there's one thing that you gotta understand about these drugs. I can tell you right now that there was something that when I started to elevate myself, and I was in a good physical shape, something that prohibited me from getting anywhere. Something that had my heart bounce very hard. That's these drugs that they use is just you cannot make it anywhere with that stuff. It's like if you pressure yourself too much with that stuff, or maybe it's because I went uphill, I have no fucking idea, but this shit can kill you, maybe, because when you go, if you run uphill, you lose sense for that you cannot grasp hair or something. I have no idea, because I started to get very bad with my heart and stuff, and you know, eventually I had to pause and stuff like this, and they closed the road on the other side of the hill, supposedly, that's what they claim and stuff. And they continued to fuck with me. They repeated this stuff, told me to run boy, and this and that kind of stupid stuff. So Bracken Wales, then you have the daughter that wanted to date me, daughter of his sister, who was at first, from what I recall, she moved down to Pontypool First his sister had a house, I think in Pontypool, or was it a daughter? I have no fucking idea. In the end, I know it was a daughter and mom that they were in this Pontypool area. Actually, Ponty Mall, not too far from Sebastopol, this area here, just as I described. She would likely commute herself for the work to the Newport. So you have a Newport. Let me see here. Newport City Hall. I doubt that she is still single, that girl. I kind of a doubt about that stuff. Community center. Who the hell? I'm not getting myself into this stuff now. Fuck that. I'm not getting myself into this. Some other time. And afterwards, from what I recall, she told me that it was not good for the job, and that she actually ended up moving up north. That would be to like Nottingham, the naughty Nottingham, even maybe further up there area, somewhere like in the middle of the Britain, like a Sheffield area, something like that. She told me. That's at least what she claims. She claimed. Was it true? Was it not? I have no idea. I pictured her at the city hall as a government worker, like somebody that would be, I don't know exactly presentations, but you know, I don't know what the hell the pretty ladies do in the city halls and shit. They do have some, you know, they use them for presentations and stuff, organizing the events and stuff, and basically that kind of stuff. I have no idea. She's got a university degree. She finished the university degree. I practically had to go through her university degree. That was oh boy, I don't know. In 2001 she traveled with them to Croatia on a coast. I liked her and so on, and then I have no fucking idea what happened. She was just she was the first one that she sided with me when they threw me in the psychiatric hospital from this family in 2012. She didn't like that even a little bit. She 2008 she was already employed in 2008, and I'm trying to figure out her mom. They wanted to get me in a psychiatric hospital. This is when these people gave assistance to Slovenian side. This is when they started in 2008. They did a lot of bad stuff, claiming that I don't like them and back and forth, all kinds of stupid shit. 2008, 2007. Hell, I think she 2021. Well, I don't know, man. I think that she probably graduated in 2006, 2007. I would say 2008 that she got a job. 2000, maybe even 2008. So she was probably in a high school when she traveled to Croatia, and in 2008 she probably got a job. That's basically when she more or less she graduated, something like that. And that's the end of it, folks. At least for this video. If I'm going to think of something better, more, I will, but I only will give the statements when I'm certain about something that will require a lot of investigation when it comes to this location here. And so all of these villages everywhere, every British village, I feel like it was involved in this stuff. Probably not exactly every. Some people didn't like that, some people declined this, but so many streets, so many people. It will be interesting to see this map, MK Ultra map, the way they design this stuff. This school did existed. The school did existed. These are still the trees that they talking about the teachers, the community, they would not give away. I was told that practically I was a son of a bitch because I destroyed their school, that this was just a beautiful, beautiful school. I thank teachers for that, for teaching me that I was a son of a bitch. It helps, yes, it helps. It did exist. I was heavily resented upon the annihilation of the school. However, the British Royals preferred for this school to go off the picture. Why would I put this school off the picture? At least this is what they brainwashed me with. They claimed that there was no violence and this and that there was not. There was violence. I was given a big fucking speech in respect to this school, but this looked to me like an elementary school, not like a high school. There's a lot of blonde kids. That I destroyed them the school. Actually, this is a brainwash what I gave you. This was a school packed up with the blonde kids, and it was one of the preferred schools that I had involved in MK Ultra. And then it was British Royals that did not like this homogeneity. It was blonde, blonde people. It was like a totally blonde school, and the British Royals went on to annihilate that school by throwing me inside of the school and creating the racial case out of it. Because simply these kids would not be evil with me, they had to close down the school, lock the school up, and leave basically. Bye-bye, that was it. This was the school where I was delivered since my earliest childhood. With what I also have is a little bit of the problem. The problem is that they involve several other locations. This here is this was not only here, this was also in United States of America. But I'm absolutely positive that this was actually the school because of this road here as you come here. And I was a child when they would keep bringing me here. The British Royals suggested me that this will be the school which I will attend. And this never ever was the school which I attended. This school, what you see right there always was like this, almost always was like this. This school was closed down, I believe. This is where enormous MK Ultra torture would go on, exactly in this sector right here. Exactly in this sector. This was a torture sector right here. This here. Heavy torture sector was right here with my schoolmates from Slovenia that would come to assist. They didn't like idea about me being Britain with the blonde kids. teachers from Slovenia, from Osnovna šola Grm. This was a school, ladies and gentlemen, this was a school at one time. But it's a big problem. The biggest problem with this school is that the problem with this school is that the kids would come, the blonde kids would come here. And these blonde kids that would come here, when they would have me here, why the fuck would they come here? I mean, it's just a simple... This was a schizophrenia location. This is how they search for the proofs about the schizophrenia. This location here. Impossible to tell about this school. They would dispatch kids, blonde kids, to this area down here below, to this area down where I would be tortured to make an impression on me also. To continue to make impression on me. I'm thinking about this here, this stuff here. Yeah, this was definitely a school. This school went down probably when I was just... And I was blamed for taking this school down. I was actually blamed for taking this school down. I was pronounced as an evil kid. I took the school away from the blonde kids. Once and forever. That's it. No school for the blonde kids. That's it. That's how I became famous about this one here. All through, I had absolutely nothing to do with it. The only thing I know is wherever the fuck I would go, everything would be falling apart. So, I think personally, I would kick the fuck out. I would literally kick them out of the Buckingham Palace, if you ask me. The way I would do this stuff is I would go inside of the Buckingham Palace and literally have their servants kicking them out of the gate. And then what I would do is I would also tell them I confiscated every fucking cent from your banking accounts and absolutely everything, and you have less than nothing waiting for the court invitation. These are not the people I would want to have absolutely anywhere. Not even as a street swipers, I would not want to have these people as... I don't think these people are qualified. These people are born to betray. You see this white stuff that you see right there, and the trees really. There was another school in the United States of America they brainwashed me with, and another location in Poland, I can tell you that. But I believe that they also stated me that this school was down before I was born, something in that sense, but no, I don't think so. This school was most likely the school based when I was a child. I remember that, well, it is kind of a difficult. It's kind of difficult because what I see here, this was a high school. And basically, I don't see the high school kids on this picture. I see kids like, how the hell do you see kids? High school, this is already almost like students and shit. And In the US, I think they had an elementary school. Yes, I remember when they would bring the children in the school, that kind of stuff. They would drive them inside, and it was something similar to this, but this was not it. They had one in the US, and they had a shit parking area empty like this. They're in the Iron Curtain. Also in Poland, I think there was something like that they were showing me up. And there's more to it. That British also had another location somewhere up north in the middle of the Britain also, that was somehow not even maybe far from here, that somewhat reminded this, where they would do the torture. And yes, to get things even better, they would also do the torture here. That's yet another beauty about all this stuff. These kids here, these blonde kids that I recall, this school here, these blonde kids could not have existed other than in my head, because if there would be a blonde kids that would be here, that would be elementary school. This is not elementary school, this was a fucking high school, so the whole thing was a setup. A nasty setup. Schizophrenia, that's how they did the setups. So there was no blonde school. I don't believe there was. Oh yes, shit, yeah, there is more to it. Yeah, there was a school, because the kids that would come here still, damn it, the kids that would come here to alert me were grown-ups. Now they already attended college, so that does make sense. They came here to remind me what a fuck-up I was. Thank you very much. Very nice of you. Very, very British, I'm gonna say. The blonde school is now gone. It was because the Russians saluted this, and with the Chinese and with Indians and everything, how successful I was, that I demolished a blonde school. So, ladies and gentlemen, this used to be a blonde school. Unbelievable. And yes, I did have kids coming from up Bow to give me their last, what they were sure it's going to be a farewell. And they said even that I did not deserve this, basically to see them and that kind of stuff. So might have been a high school, but I'm thinking about, so that would be age 14. That would be age 14. Look, it is possible, because I was a pretty big kid, but the thing is that kids here are just as big, even taller, and shit, man. They will be there, and that will be nice. Shit, man, I remember them, you know, I do recall them bringing me up here. Let me just do something else here. Let's go back here, like this. This here, this is a college. And then you have this kind of stuff, and you have this kind of stuff here. You see, this is how difficult this stuff is, because it's not about honest stuff the way they brainwash you, you know, but it's about nasty stuff. They lie a lot. So if I understand properly, this is just a circle here. This is just a circle here, if I understand this here properly. Based on the Andrews claims on how I will be at this school here, damn it. The problem is other locations and stuff. Let me see this here. Let me see that kind of stuff. Just a moment, just to see this here. Yeah, the British Royal was built as schizophrenia. I can see that there was no difference between them and the Slovenes, really. This was all Josip Broz Tito cooperation. Let me just see this here. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, you can see that. Oh man, this year I will rule this location as a schizophrenia location. I honestly, because of other locations which are very similar to this location and were implicated in this case, cannot confirm that this ever in my lifetime was a school location which I would in fact visit. If this would be elementary school, somehow I could relate to one, but I don't find the memories that would clearly give me the idea, at least not from here, that would clearly give me the idea on how I ever visited this school. I can see a profound brainwash involving Chinese, Russians in it, assuring me, making almost the idea about some kind of a blonde school in this city, in this place, in my head, with schoolmates from Slovenia they delivered to this location and so on. Shit that goes beyond incredible. Russians were implicated in this stuff and so on. That I would like to confirm, but the controversial information about the size of the kids, the controversial information about the locations they had inside of the Poland and location which Robert Golob was using together with Borut Pahor, Kuchan, not too far from here. The only thing I can confirm is that these people are scum. Because this isn't about identifying something, but it's about basically screwing myself in the head badly, under very serious circumstances. These people are scum. If you ask me, for me, I would be kicking them in the ass straight out of the gate. Man, directly into the prison. I'm not happy with this stuff. This is garbage. It's a scum. This is what you call MK Ultra, you can have it. You guys keep your fucking MK Ultra. This is really... I remember that was a kid with whom I would go to this school. I remember that. Might have been the case. He was a blonde kid that I would go with him also in this school. And Actually, either this actually did took place or did not, I do not know. The kids from elementary school that were used in MK Ultra were extremely violent, and I started to ask Andrew to get me to older kids, to older generation kids, and if I ever was here in this place, then this is exactly the location where I was, and that was a small, maybe that really was a small high school, a small one, really small high school, with this kid who was from the city, more or less from the area which I demonstrated you, blonde kid, that I would start to go with them, and then they told me, you're gonna come here, this is gonna be your school, and this here, then what you see right there, this is gonna be your college. This is how the British royals insisted me my life is gonna be. But my life never turned out this way. Princess Anne, Prince Edward, Prince Charles, and so on, that this is the way it's gonna be. So that this is the way it's gonna be. That this is gonna be, obviously, that this is gonna be my high school. That it was like we have enough of this basically Soviet violence, Russian violence, Slovenian violence, and now we're gonna do it like this. We have enough. The year when this shit took place, that's very important. This might have been sometimes like in 3rd grade of the grammar school, I'm thinking. If they did this school, if they took this school down, then they must have taken this school down between my 3rd and my 6th grade of the grammar school. That means that if there ever was school here in my lifetime, I was born December 9, 1971. If in my lifetime, if this school ever existed, then this school went down in year 1983, and I think this is the best way to explain, because everything else I'm going to state is going to be a total fuck up. Okay, if the school went down in 1983, then the school was here. If the school did not go down in 1983, I'm going to say fuck you. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say to you, fuck you. That's all. Because you're psychopaths, maniacs, murderers, killers is what you are. You're absolute animals. Fuck your psychiatry. I don't know how you see yourself in a mirror, scum as you are. I have no fucking idea how you see things as, but psychiatry is not a piece of cake. So that's all I gotta say. If the school went down in 1983, the school was here. If the school did not go down in 1983, the school never ever was here. That's all the fuck I gotta say. Psychopaths. Okay, that's all. I ain't got nothing else to say. Pisses me off. So I don't know if I did mention this already or not, because some video recordings I deleted, and that's what I'm making as a final. This man here, who also had similar daughter, son, that kind of stuff, asked me to please put him on the internet. He was all crazy about the MK Ultra 2. Entire street involved, right above there is his house. Neighbors of this house here were involved in it. Area where MK Ultra was ran out of was this neighboring houses right there. These were also the people who were totally heated into this thing. That's Landovery, Wales. So that's all I gotta say. I did more or less gave you the impression about. So basically the Soviets appears have taken this one down in either 1982 or 1983. So if that happened, then that's a reason to love Russia even more. Love your Russian friends, love it. And they love you for being blonde. They love blonde kids. the fucking Russian shit's so racist, so hateful that, you know, if you have a black hair, they would hate you for having a black hair or whatever. So they found in everything. What is this here? Carmarthen. Boy, I have to break my tongue to properly spell this. But what makes me feel good is that my name is even more difficult to spell. For the British, it's a real treat. And then we have this one here, Lendalo. All this, every location, I already stated to you. Alright, the only thing I wanted to is to demonstrate those two houses. I don't have a time for this shit. I could go years and years and years talking about this stuff, you know. Imagine so many houses, each one involved with each one their own history and stories and so on, and where am I gonna fuck? I'm 54 now. I need to borrow 10 more lifetimes to finish that one. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. Ay, caramba. This bloody school might have been gone even earlier. I don't know. 1982. It's likely that the school was here. And I think, because this, I read how the Russians learn about this stuff, about this fucking school and all this stuff. Saw this as a major success with the Indians, with the Chinese. It makes me wonder, man, whether this shit is actually was it really so crazy? I mean, was it really so racist or what? I mean, this is, and I don't understand why anybody would open itself for so much scrutiny from the outside. I mean, whose fucking business is? I mean, if there is a school with the blonde kids, I mean, it's nobody's business. I mean, I think that this case was used to multiply perception about me into a super scapegoat, like giving me a bloody reputation, like, if you like me, you shall suffer a great misdeed conception. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they were turning people who liked me into public serial criminals and all kinds of stuff. That's what happened on a regular basis, frequently in media, in American media, that it was, I don't know, all kinds of stuff like this. It appears like the only people who ever liked me were serial killers, terrorists, and so on. So I think that since this school was one of my first victims in my promising MK Ultra career, that, yeah, it probably did exist. They must have created a perception about me some way, somehow, obviously. Yes, people did read, they had this file on me, and people read about this stuff, and, you know, as soon as they read the stuff about me, they just went pal, and they just dropped the paperwork and stuff like that. If I was a British, I know I do kick these people straight into the prison. You know, just like when they walk and you just give him a kick in the ass, and again and again and again till he fucking ends inside of the jail. Then you close the fucking gate and you tell him, I'll see you in the next lifetime. Every fucking one of you from Buckingham Palace scum. Every fucking one of you. Unbelievable. It might have been even before 1982. I got a feeling, bad feeling, that this school actually did exist because of the Soviet Union. Russia. Yeah, it makes sense because the only people who were allowed to date me, the only people, the girls that were allowed to date me, that would be um, Asian girls, or either Asian or black or Hispanic. So, you know what I think? This is bullshit. You do understand that what I stated to you right now, that huh, you do understand that from the reality perception, it could never be this way, right? But from the perception of this garbage here, yes, it could well be. It could well be like this. This is the same shit like those Soviet apparatchiks over there. Why don't they mix with black and with the Asian and with other races if they were so politically correct about it? Oh yes, because they are heads of the state, and it's a different rules and regulations that apply to them. And of course it's because they have to look like their people, of course, right? That's what it is. You know what it is? You know what this shit is? These people are the same shit like those Soviet apparatchiks that could make you disappear at any fucking time. That's why I said this: you give him a kick and he make 3 steps forward, and he gets a kick again, and three steps forward, and does like this all the way till you kick him inside of the jail. This is a scum. I don't know British. I don't understand how the fuck you do it, man. How the hell do you handle? But for fuck's sake, I would not have them. This school might have perished already earlier, as far even as, I don't know, between 1980 and 1983. Disgusting. I think like I was in the 3rd grade. That means 1981, something like that. 1982. Toy. And I want to make myself clear about this multiracial stuff, so that somebody's not gonna understand me. Honestly, I'm not missing any kind of blonde kids. I'm not missing any kind of blonde kids. I am not going to even say to you that diversity is a beautiful thing, because I really don't care what is it that you think. I don't give a shit. But I got a collection of the incredibly beautiful women right here that is just, we're part of MK Ultra. Few of them are white, really. I don't know. It's a matter of taste. It's a matter of who is pursuing what. But there is one thing I cannot stand, man. There's one thing that really, really, really bothers me. What actually really, really agitates me is that some apparatchik would just, that you just would go and you would do like this in a dirty way, basically, with the people, basically. This shit here is what actually really, really bothers me. That you think that you can fuck with the people and do the stuff whichever way you, and so on, and there was a very, very bad word in this so-called Yugoslavia, and the word was a politburo. The word was this here. I don't know even know how to explain to you. I got a wrong word. This is not exactly the right terminology I'm using right here. Okay. Politburo, and then is a commissar. This here. I don't like any of this stuff here. Politkommissar. Politkommissar, this would be a dick, a dick that would go around and would just destroy people's lives. Like, he would come to your house and he would say, hey, by the way, No, I'm not saying that this is the guy, don't get me. And here they are showing this partisans and stuff like this. No, not really. Not really. The politkommissar, a classic politkommissar would be maybe the classic politkommissar from my time, During the World War II, maybe they also looked like that. But the classic politkommissar would be the guy like this, dressed up, that would come in your house and he would say to you, by the way, you are obligated to marry to some unattractive woman, and we will repossess half of your house to station also another family in it, and etc., and or you will have to do the job, whatever kind of job, that kind of stuff. This was a job of the politkommissar, or we make you disappear through the psychiatry, or we make you disappear through the gulags, basically prisons, or we just, might not even come to tell you, and as well as mine, you might have a car accident, or you might just be, I don't know, even thrown on Goli Otok or something like that. Bear Island, they used to call these concentration camps, where they would lock the people inside, and on the Josip Broz Tito and then Milosevic and all that stuff. Man, to me personally, this is the same shit. After all, if you want to date whatever lady you want to date, nobody wants to date with a gun on the forehead. At least I don't. Everybody's got an idea about his way, about his life. Maybe the politburo is the right word. Because who the fuck are you to tell people with whom they have to get married based on the political preferences and all kinds of stuff like this? This is nasty stuff that I don't like. I don't tolerate this kind of stuff. I don't allow any apparatchiks to tell me what is mine and what is not mine and that kind of stuff. I don't believe in this kind of redistribution of the wealth and so on. Any communist can be a wonderful person, more than willing to share the things with everybody, but it's not difficult to share with everybody everything when you have absolutely nothing. And what I mean by this, when you have absolutely nothing, in my experience, you can only have as much as you have gone through, and none of you have gone as much through as I did. So for me, this kind of stuff that I see, any of these people, or that be the so-called communists and so on, I don't go for that stuff, because it's not difficult to share everything with anybody when you have nothing. For me, it's not about how much you have in the wallet. For me, it's how much you have gone through, how much as a credible, your credibility, how much you're actually worth. It's a different criteria that I have. I hate this politcommissars, this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff. This is a politcommissar right here. This is a perfect politcommissar. These are the politcommissars right here. And despite everything, despite their communist ideals and everything, these people have more than wonderful life. These people lived like kings. No lesser than kings. They had a life, a wonderful house. Not one house, but houses and properties. Moved in whatever house, whatever property, whatever the fuck they wanted. Traveled the world. Have domestic police work for them for free. And foreign police protecting them and so on. They lived like kings. And they refer to themselves as communists. It's not a turbo communism or capitalism, it's a turbo thuggery. I'm sorry, please excuse me that I don't see myself in these people in any way.
And for the end, I want you to know who provided all this information for you. I think it's extremely valuable information. Stuff that you learn on my blog. This is the blog. You don't get to see absolutely anywhere. It is very unique. It's precious. For more information, like some people would say, please go and visit Außer Times, my blog. I'm not going to be doing this stuff. I just want you to know who provided this information, for you to know about what's going on around the world, what really the world looks like today, how it is, who it is, what's going on, what's happening, what really the world looks like. Actually, since 2020, I don't even know anymore myself what went on, or actually what goes on today now. It's been 5 years, almost 5 years since I was not subjected to MK Ultra procedures. Stuff that you watch, I continue to write with you about political agenda, the way they exercise this political agenda, through negotiations which they make in the background. Should I say thank you for watching? I don't think so. You should thank me for watching. This is Außer Times. About the only place, absolutely only place in the world where you get to know what is actually happening around the world, and where case of MK Ultra was beyond proven. More than real.